Amy living in the house. Ghosts. And a demon.
No.
Yeah,
Hey, demon.
Okay.
I know, I can do it. Okay.
you out of my ex, but maybe future girlfriend.
And the ominous, the worst demon cleansing the ominous has been cast out of love.
The movie opens with a regular family going to bed in their new house. In the middle of the night, the parents hear their little daughter screaming. They rush into her room and find her possessed by a demon named Diomenes, who demands a human sacrifice. Desperate, the parents strike a deal. They'll find another victim in exchange for their daughter. After thinking it over, Diomenes agrees and leaves Grace's body. Will works at a toothpaste company. He's dating a girl named Amy, who's pissed that he skipped her work promotion party. After yet another fight, she dumps him and moves out. The next day, Will goes house hunting and finds a huge place rented out for the price of a single room. Ken and his wife Tammy convince him the house will make him happy. Will doesn't smell anything fishy, signs the deal, and the seller's family drives away. Almost immediately, weird stuff starts happening, but Will stubbornly refuses to notice. Later, he gets a text from Amy asking for his new address. Thinking she wants him back, he excitedly bakes a cake. Turns out she just drops off a box with the rest of his toothpaste. Will takes the box to the basement. That night, he wakes up to strange noises and heads back to the basement, where he hears whispering. He realizes the sound is coming from his own headphones, but when he listens closer, creepy music suddenly blasts. Will rationalizes everything, ignores it, and goes back to bed. In the morning, he finds the cake in the oven with "I will possess your soul" written on it. He calls his buddy Patrick, who suggests calling the cops. Will stops him, thinking it's probably just Amy pranking him. Later, when he returns from the store, all the furniture is thrown around the house. Still in denial, he blames the wind. That night, the whispering returns, telling Will he's worthless. He goes downstairs and sees a ghost sitting in a chair. Another ghost appears and warns him that Diomenes can't take his soul, so he must leave the house and never come back. Scared, Will runs to Amy's place, only to find her with a new guy. Message received. Crushed, Will returns home and literally asks the ghost if he can crash there for a while. He has nowhere else to go. Upstairs, the little boy ghost keeps insisting he has to leave because his soul is useless to Diomenes, but Will doesn't care anymore. Next day, he meets Patrick and tells him about demons. Patrick thinks it's a metaphor and brushes it off. Then a girl named Amy joins them, and Will tells her the same story. The worst part, he's apparently so pathetic, even a demon doesn't want his soul. Amy comforts him, saying any ghost would be happy to have his body. Turns out she believes him. She used to cleanse haunted houses back in college. Amy agrees to help. That same evening, she, Patrick, and Will go to the house. They quickly prep and head to Grace's old room to perform an exorcism ritual. Suddenly, a terrifying rumble scares the hell out of Patrick, and he bolts. Amy starts choking and, before passing out, manages to say, "There's a very powerful demon here." Will finds Patrick skipping rope like a maniac possessed, because the demon can enter anyone except Will. Possessed, Patrick runs to the basement and starts digging a hole. Will tries to stop him. Diomenes breaks his arm and keeps digging. Amy shows up in time and casts the demon out of Patrick. The friends beg Will to run, but he decides to stay and guard the world from these ghosts. Amy warns it's suicide. Diomenes will come back for a sacrifice. Will says fine, he's useless to the demon anyway, and no one else will live here. After the hospital, Will comes home the next morning and finds Amy at the door. She wants to talk inside. He tries to stop her, too dangerous, but she walks in anyway. Everything seems quiet, so Will suggests she stays for dinner. That night they make up, admit they still love each other, and sleep together. Morning comes. Will tries to warn Amy about the ghosts. Too late. She's already possessed by Diomedes. Will ties her up and tries an exorcism he found on YouTube. The demon just laughs, calls it the worst ritual ever. At the same moment, Will's boss calls and fires him again. Patrick and Amy arrive, see possessed Amy, and agree to help. The portal to hell opens at exactly 3:15 a.m. After that, Diomedes can't be stopped. While they're planning, Amy breaks free and runs to the basement. The Sellers family shows up. Will learns they rented him the house on purpose so the demon would take him instead of Grace. Will forgives them and asks to save Amy instead. Dad says someone still has to be sacrificed. Possessed Amy drags Will into the basement. The others decide to hold a seance to ask the trapped ghosts how to kill Diomedes. The Sellers finally agree to help. In the basement, Will tells possessed Amy that if the demon takes her to hell, he'll go too. Diomedes freezes. During the seance, Amy learns the demon kept the ghosts prisoner and forced them to do awful things. The ghosts reveal the way to beat him is to destroy objects he created. They find the original cake. It's his anchor. Will reaches the real Amy through their love. She fights back and almost expels the demon. At that moment, possessed Grace runs in and keeps digging the portal. Everyone tries to stop her and accidentally discovers that regular toothpaste burns the demon like acid. Patrick throws the box Amy once brought. The gates start closing. Grace breaks free, jumps into the hole, dragging Amy with her. Will stabs the cake. Nothing happens. A second later, Amy climbs out, pulling Grace with her. The portal slams shut. The ghosts are finally free. Dad begs Amy to banish them, but they've found peace and decide to stay in the house forever. 1 year later, Amy and Will are back together and still live in the same house. The Sellers sold it to them for almost nothing. Living with friendly ghosts is fine by them. On the anniversary, Amy says, "At least Diomedes never found a vessel strong enough to leave the house." Cut to little Grace grinning creepily while putting on the headphones she took from the basement. The end. Final thoughts. Sorry About the Demon is a weird cocktail, sometimes genuinely funny and cute, sometimes cheap and dragged out. I finished it with a smile, but no real excitement. 6 out of 10 on a good day. Perfect background watch for one chill evening. Nothing more.